Son of a glitch.
Days Gone. Now right off the bat, I want to preface this by saying I'm really enjoying my time with Days Gone. However, with that being said, it does have a couple of bugs here and there. To be honest, if you throw a rock, I bet you'll hit another AAA open world game that's full of glitches also, so this isn't anything really unexpected. So there's absolutely no hate directed towards this game, we're just gonna celebrate some of the amazingly funny glitches in Days Gone. And what better place to start than with the game's main character, Deacon. Every now and again, Deacon likes to practice skydiving. This can occur completely randomly, and for some reason, he just kind of floats there in the air like he's on one of those indoor skydiving simulator things. You could just be running along and bam, it's skydiving time. And to my knowledge, there isn't actually a way to get out of this. Yeah, you're just kind of stuck. But let me tell you something about Deacon. He is well prepared, because you never know when suddenly you'll be in the air, skydiving. For real. Oh man, I mean, there's only really one way this can end. Yeah, see, I told you. In Days Gone, if you kick the pebble statues, they kick back. Well, there's something you don't see every day. Now, every open world game is full of NPCs. Just regular people doing regular things, and every now and again getting stuck in the ground. Now, this could be an issue with animation, or it could be an issue with collision, but this happens kind of frequently. You'll be wandering into a camp, and then suddenly there'll just be somebody in the ground. Now, most of the time they actually escape this fate, but sometimes they just don't. Sorry, bro, I think it's straight to hell for you. I don't know what you did, but apparently the devil won't let go. This brings a whole new meaning to the phrase stuck in the mud. One of my favorite kinds of glitches is when NPCs stand inside each other because they're both loaded in the same spot, or when you just kind of happen upon an NPC and they're kind of in a situation, I guess you'd call it. Like this guy who's just kind of floating there. Hey, what you doing? I love the way he looks at Deacon like, yeah, it's not what you think, but could you help me out? Here's another one of my favorites, the animation tied to an object, but the object isn't loaded. It has that kind of quick, look busy vibe to it. I too like to pretend that I'm sitting on things when the things aren't really there. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure this works better if you actually have a broom in your hand. Just saying. Speaking of things that aren't really there, I came across this guy who was just a head. No body, just a floating head, having a cigarette. I just about lost my mind when I saw it floating around as well. I'm not entirely sure what would cause the head to be the only thing rendered here, but hey, I got a kick out of it. Another one of my favorite glitches, and a favorite of many, is the classic T-pose. Now, most of the T-poses in this game happen for a few frames. They kind of blink and you'll miss them, and this usually occurs when you arrive somewhere faster than the game expects and it quickly has to load somebody in. But in very extreme cases, sometimes the game doesn't correct this at all, and you'll find that everybody is T-posing. I think these two are in a competition to assert their dominance over each other, but neither of them are facing the right way to even see it. One of the few glitches I did personally come across quite a lot was pathfinding glitches. What I mean by this is characters trying to figure out the path they're supposed to be on, but instead walking around in circles or back and forth until they eventually fix themselves. Or not, as in the case of this guy here, who really just didn't have a clue where he was going. This is like the physical manifestation of a conflict of interest unfolding in front of our eyes. And then we have this guy who just, like, dude, you're never gonna get through the barrel, just stop trying, please. It's embarrassing. Turns out the freakers in the game don't fare much better when it comes to pathfinding. On more than a few occasions, I found them trying to go through walls, or this one trying to go through a car. I mean, come on guys, I know you haven't got a brain anymore, but geez, can you not try to go around it? It doesn't matter how hard this newt tries, there's no way it's going through the wall. There's no way. That's really not gonna stop it though now, is it? I'll get the popcorn and maybe we can place bets on just how long it's gonna take for it to give up. Another thing you should know about freakers is their worst enemy is anything that's a window or something they can climb through because, well, as you can see, it's a formidable enemy that they just cannot get around. But honestly, it's fun watching them try. Keep going, you nearly got it. You're nearly there, nearly. No, almost? No, I think you should just give up now. I'll always find glitches with enemies hilarious, like this one with the screamer where it just really doesn't know what to do or where it is. It's kinda just stuck in an animation loop on the spot, and I'm beginning to understand why these things are called freaks. Oh man, please don't tell me you were trying to jump through that window, because we've all seen how that goes. Here's another kind of enemy glitch where in my personal playthrough, I was facing this larger freaker, I don't know what they're called, but he kinda just got stuck on the spot and wouldn't actually attack me until I approached him, which which honestly creates a great advantage because I could just sit there shooting at his head and he wouldn't do anything. But I gotta say, it does kind of break the immersion and the intensity of the situation when this kind of thing happens. Luckily, this did kind of fix itself once I started walking towards him. He kind of snapped out of it, but that was a very strange encounter. But not as strange as this enemy lady kind of sliding away. I've seen glitches like this before and it never gets old. Just look at her go. If you thought the freakers and the regular human enemies were the only ones with glitchy problems, you'd be dead wrong. Because it turns out the animals in this game also have some issues. Like, for instance, this wolf, who somehow defies gravity and slides through the air like a trooper, honestly. I still have no idea what's going on here. Yeah, fly up into the air, why not? I mean, what am I even looking at? Another random encounter I found when I was out and about in the world was crows. Crows seem to have a big problem getting stuck against houses. Like, how did you even get in here? I mean, you're stuck. You are definitely stuck, but how is this possible? And the funniest thing about this is it's not even like a freak rare event. It seems to happen quite often, which is hilarious, because in the game you're taught that crows mean kind of danger or there's gonna be freakers about, but for me it means there's an increased chance of seeing this. Now, these aren't the only weird things you can see out and about in the world of Days Gone. For every crow getting stuck against a wall, you'll see a bit of something floating in the air, like trash or more trash or small rocks, you know, floaty things. Because this makes a lot of sense, right? I too like to pretend I'm a freaker who floats and is also dead. Dead and floating. My two favorite things. On the subject of things floating, one time I died via a bear, actually. A bear killed me, and when I came back, I realized my bike was nowhere to be found. So I ventured out to the point where it said it was on the map, and it just wasn't there. I came to the conclusion that somehow it must be spawned under the ground. Turns out, flip that around, it was in the air. My bike was in the air, high up in the air. There's no way it could be recovered because it was apparently too far away. That was when I said I've seen enough crazy for the day and quit the game. And well, wouldn't you know it, the next time I came back, the bike fell from the heavens. It dropped right out of the sky. I mean, not only was that a miracle of some sort, but also, what the H? This game is so broken sometimes. And you wanna know something? The motorbikes in this game are probably some of the most broken things about it. This is where most of the craziest glitches in the game stem from. Like, for instance, maybe don't run over a deer so close to another object, otherwise there's a chance that the deer might actually become a part of your motorbike. And as strangely hilarious as this looks, it's also kinda creepy and weird and kinda gross. Wow, I gotta say, that's some impressive jiggle that deer's got going on as it's being crushed by a motorbike. Well, I think it's officially time to move on. Hey, anybody want to see a trick? Oh, well, that doesn't look right. It just stays that way. That's just how it is now. I tell you, you better hope you don't fall off your bike on a hill because, oh my gosh, you may never see your bike again. Look at it go. Yep, it's still going. We're never gonna see the bike again, are we? Oh, no, wait, it's okay. It's alright. It's, the bike is in a tree. Well, when I say in a tree, I mean it's suspended about 5 foot above the tree, but that's fine. Now I just need to learn how to fly and I can get it back. You know what? Forget it. I'll just run around instead. If you're feeling like your motorbike is the only one that's kinda cursed, don't worry. It seems like everybody's having that kind of issue. Oh boy. Whee! Days Gone can be kind of a freaky game sometimes, a little bit scary, you know, with the freakers and the post-apocalyptic nature of the game, and the ghost bikes. Yeah, ghost bikes, that's right. That's actually a thing now. Ghost bikes. Nobody's riding them, they just do themselves. The whole idea of an invisible bike that you ride just cracks me up, and so you can imagine how happy I was when I found out that was a glitch in this game. That's right, buy Days Gone to ride invisible bikes. It looks ridiculous, I love it, you'll love it, we'll have a great time. Why is this happening? I don't know. For one, I absolutely love this. I think this is one of the most amazing things to come out of this game, actually. I mean, imagine hitting a pole and dying whilst riding an invisible bike. This game gives you that. It gives you that. Well, it turns out, unless this has been patched, this might actually have something to do with photo mode. Sometimes messing around within photo mode and making the bike invisible to take pictures, that can actually mess with the game somehow, and when you actually return to the game proper, sometimes the bike is just completely invisible. And now you can ride that invisible bike and smash into all the poles you like. I mean, first you have to actually find the bike. I mean, it's pretty hard to find an invisible bike. Have you ever tried? It's difficult. Oh, there it is. There it is. Don't I look cool? Admit it, you want one. And off into the sunset I go. What a pleasant ride this is on my bike. Nothing could... Oh, well, that's me dead. Yeah, this game kind of has an issue with loading things quick enough. For instance, you'll be riding along and suddenly a house will fall on you, and that's not good. really. In the most extreme cases of this, huge chunks of the world just fail to load entirely. So what you'll end up with is parts of the world is like very low level of detail, like N64 levels of detail. Like, did somebody put that fire truck in the microwave? It looks all melty. And obviously, if huge chunks of the world aren't loaded correctly, then neither is the ground. So be prepared for a long and deadly plunge into the dark abyss. Ain't nobody coming out of this alive. You thought that patch of ground was solid? Nope, sorry. You chose poorly. This again could be attributed to the fact that the game doesn't load stuff quick enough for when you arrive, and the bikes may be too quick. Either way, there's a big hole in the ground with some N64 cars, so that's good. Well, it could be worse. It's not like you're opening up secret hatches and you try to get inside them and they're filled with dirt. Yeah. This game's just breaking all the rules. Can somebody help me with my magic ladder? It doesn't go down. Honestly though, Days Gone is a really stable game, and one of the only glitches that bugged me unintentional pun there, was a glitch that actually cut out the sound effects and left everything else intact. So you'd be riding around on the motorbike and it would make absolutely no noise, but the minute you bumped into something, Deacon would be like, ow. And this glitch kept happening to me and I didn't know why, and I just had to keep restarting the game to fix it. But that was the only glitch in the whole game that really bothered me. Like I said, I'm really enjoying my time with Days Gone. I'm a real sucker for these open world games. And personally, if a game has glitches, that's alright by me. But that about wraps up this episode, guys, with some hilarious glitches that can randomly happen to you in Days Gone. I also want to give an enormous thank you to everybody whose clips were featured during this episode. AAA open world games have glitches that just randomly happen, there's no setup for them, so getting clips or triggering them, very difficult. All these clips have been credited, and if there's a favorite, you should check out their channels. If you're new to the channel and you're thinking about subscribing, definitely hit that notification bell and set notifications to all. And failing that, if you guys are on Twitter, why not follow me at A+Start Show? I post news and updates on everything Son of a Glitch, also stuff about low poly. It's easily my most active social media outlet, and honestly it's a great way for you guys to see when I upload so you don't miss any episodes. Because we all know how messed up that YouTube subscription box is, don't we now? So go find me on Twitter now at A+Start Show and get following. And if you enjoyed this episode, why not check out the rest of the playlist of Son of a Glitch? There's tons of glitchy fun to be had. And a huge thanks to everybody you can see on screen right now. These are my Patreon supporters. I love you guys, you really have been very supportive over the last couple of years, and I really appreciate you. If you're interested in supporting this channel's Patreon, you can support for as little as $1 a month, or if not, I still love you. Thanks guys, see you in the next episode.